Hi everyone! Congratulations on completing your 10-day cleanse. Now we're getting ready to do our 14-day max phase. I just want to go over a few things and a couple of reminders before we get started with this max phase, which is super exciting. Is first and foremost, if you haven't gotten up to that half your body weight in ounces in water throughout your cleanse, keep pushing. Utilize your journal to have the water droplets here along the edge after you write down what foods you've been eating. But set it as your goal. Set small goals for yourself daily. That's the only way that you are going to keep accomplishing things that you thought you wouldn't be able to. Exercise doesn't have to be I did an hour workout at the gym, or I followed some kind of workout video. It can be I did an extra flight of stairs today, or I took the dog for a 30-minute walk instead of a 10-minute walk. I stood instead of sitting for a long period of time. It's purposely forcing yourself to make those conscious decisions so that eventually you start doing them subconsciously. And you have no idea, and you don't even realize that you already trained your body to make this better choice for you. Don't forget to write down the hours that you slept. I noticed for me personally that just doing the herbal cleanse has actually, and following a pattern for what time I go to bed, or at least attempt to go to bed, has helped me sleep a lot deeper and a lot better. Lastly, your mood. First thing, I do it first thing when I wake up in the morning. If I feel a little energy in the morning, it's super exciting. So next, I do want to go over the fact that now you can add starchy vegetables and dairy back into your diet. I do not necessarily recommend having alcohol on a regular basis, but if you want a drink on the weekend or something like that, go for it. Have a beer, have a glass of wine. Preferably, it's probably better if you do a single shot of, like, say vodka or gin, and you do it with not tonic but club soda and a lime would probably be your best. But obviously no alcohol is better. And then we are following the same eating plan. So everything we just went through the 10-day cleanse, besides the things that we can add back in, we're going through now. Again, with the complex carb, the protein, and then either the fruit or the vegetable. So what I'm going to go over is the things that we got that we haven't really touched yet. Some of us did dip into our meal replacement shakes. I know I've used about 2 or 3 during my cleanse, just because I didn't have time to make something, or I was around, I really wanted something sweet. To be honest, there was one day I really wanted to, I wish I had cake or something, and I decided to have chocolate instead. So the MNS3, the Metabolic Nutrition System 3. So in the video that you may have watched on the Champion Maker 180 page, she says there's MNS3, MNSC, and MNSE. This is the best one. The reason why I say this is especially for women like us. This is the whole thing. So we don't have the options here in Canada of the other two just yet. However, this one is appetite control. It is increased energy, and it's overall wellness. That's why it's MNS3. If you've opened this, you might be a little frightened when you see this. That's why I made this video. I'm going to go over all of it with you. I'll tell you what's in everything. Eventually, they should start having little pamphlets in here that tell you what pill is what. Let's actually just dive straight into this. So, following your journal, just like you did through your cleanse phase, I'm going to just read through this and I'll show you what is what. So first thing you're going to do in the morning, 30 minutes before breakfast, just like our probiotic, but now it's going to be the packet, is this top packet. If you look on the front, it says, it will say take 30 minutes before breakfast, take 30 minutes before lunch. Take contents of both white packets with breakfast or lunch. That's something we can work around. You don't have to take all of these for these 2 bottom packets at once, the white ones. So I have them broken up. what I'm going to actually do for myself is I'm going to take scissors and I am going to chop all my packets up. Only do this if you want to. You don't have to, obviously. It's nice to keep the all 4 of them together and just use them as you go. But first thing in the morning, you take this packet. So this is your Actotherm, which is the darker, and the other 2 are Calcium Plus. So these are what you're going to take 30 minutes before breakfast. And you can take them with your Spark, and if you're using Catalyst, wonderful Catalyst. Like me, I do it right before my workout and before when I take my probiotic. You will have your Spark, and then 30 minutes after, set that 30-minute timer again, just to make sure that you're doing this on time for everything. 30 minutes after, you can either have a protein, your vitamin shake, or you can do actual breakfast. You don't have to have the protein. They recommend it because the protein and vitamin shake is a 1-to-1 ratio of protein and carbs. So it's actually the perfect breakfast to get your meal and your appetite going. I mean, your metabolism going, not your appetite. If you're somebody like me who used to never eat breakfast, it's super convenient. So it's the perfect breakfast. It gets your metabolism up and moving, and your day is started. And you don't even have to worry about cooking yourself anything. Other people, they like to eat breakfast. They like to sit down. Don't have to do this. Just make sure you're following what we did before. Do the complex carb, the protein, and the fruit in the morning. That's fantastic to do. And then you can save these, or you can replace lunch with it. If you're busy at work all the time and you're typically running around during lunch, it might be a good idea to replace your lunch with this. I don't necessarily recommend replacing dinner because you're going to be really hungry possibly after that. Because of how long you go without eating, then afterwards you have your snack and then you go to bed. So, but if you do have to replace dinner with this, that's probably, this is a better option than also going through a drive-through and getting fast food. I know Kimberly keeps one at her desk and in her car. I plan on doing the same. I actually keep one in my purse already, just in case you have that choice to make. You're going to want to make the better decision. And next I will go on to, after that, obviously your snack, make sure you include a protein in your snack. Then 30 minutes before lunch. This is where it gets a little more tricky than last time. 30 minutes before lunch, you have to take what is your second pack here. So this first one is the one you take before breakfast. And then the second one, which I have them split up. The second one is your Biotherm and your Calcium Plus again. You take that 30 minutes before lunch. And then they recommend taking these bottom 2 with lunch or breakfast. So in your book, it says with lunch. However, you can split them up. Now, for me personally, the reason why I said in the beginning that I'm going to be cutting these up is because my breakfast one, this bottom packet, if you can see, is your Omegaplex again. So that wonderful little bottle that you already have is right here. You get 2 extra. So you'll be taking, instead of 2 a day, you'll be taking 4 a day. So my reason for cutting them up is because first thing in the morning, I am actually going to be taking Omegaplex and my breakfast vitamins 30 minutes before breakfast. Because the Omegaplex does not upset my stomach, that's how it works for me. You can take these 2 before breakfast, before lunch, during breakfast, during lunch. If it doesn't upset your stomach, take them whenever. Just don't take them with dinner because you'll take your 2 extra with dinner, so you have everything spread out throughout the day. Either way, you could also still just follow directly what the book does. If that works for you, do what makes it best and most convenient for you in that sense. So if you decide you do want to follow the book 100%, these bottom 2 you're going to take with lunch. And then these 3 that you see here are your Coreplex. And then this one that you see here is your Cardio Q. So the little capsule that you see in that is the Cardio Q, and then these 3 are your Coreplex. They're a fantastic multivitamin. And you would take those with either breakfast or lunch. Finally, again, with lunch, if you did your shake in the morning, or you're not doing the shake at all because you just want it as backup, you would do your protein, your vegetable, and your complex carb, along with, if you're following it directly, along with those bottom 2 white packs. And then finally, after that, you do your Spark again if you'd like, with your afternoon snack, along with a protein with that afternoon snack. Finally, for dinner, you do 2 Omegaplex out of your bottle. If you're not already doing these in the morning, like I was, do it with dinner. If you were doing them in the morning and not doing them at dinner, now you take 2 in the morning and 2 at night. It's kind of how it works. And then again, your protein, your vegetable, and your complex carb. And then finally, that optional snack at the end of the night. And guess what? You don't have to take anything before bed now. So we may have added that one little extra thing in 30 minutes before lunch. And I know it's going to be a little rough, but I know most people, when you're working during the day, you can't wait for lunch. So just keep that in mind, that you do 30 minutes before lunch, you have to take that, that yellow packet, the second yellow packet, which is this one. Now, I do want to remind you, excuse me, I do want to remind you, ladies, that if you have any questions or any concerns, or just feel like talking, or you're angry about something, like, I don't know, your husband didn't take out the recycling in time, feel free to contact me. I am here for you guys 100%. Any questions you have, whether you want to post them in the group, or you want to post them, or you want to send them to me personally, or give me a phone call or a text, please, please, please feel free to do that. Also, Kim is here in this group. Even if you want to click on her and send her a private message, feel free to do that. We are here for support. Lastly, I do want to remind you, ladies, take your day 11 photos. I almost said take 10. Day 11. So as soon as you hit day 11, you're on that first day of max phase. Go ahead and take those pictures. Take that forward-facing pictures. Take that side-facing picture. If you have, take your measurements. Don't forget to take your measurements. I find those really important. Mark your measurements down here. That's what it's there for. If you want to weigh yourself, I'm going to have a blank spot there. I'm not weighing myself until day 25. I'm doing that because I don't want to discourage myself when I see inches melt away, but I'm not seeing the scale budge. You don't want to discourage yourself in that sense. So if you see that you have inches that are going, that's the important part. It's not the scale, because especially if you've added catalyst, or like me are adding catalyst back in, this is helping protect your muscle and burn fat. So you're not gonna, muscle weighs more than fat. So if you're gaining a little more muscle, that's important to keep in mind as you're going through this. So for me, I don't want to know until day 25. But those before pictures, if you haven't sent them to me and you're willing to, now that you see your day 11 photos, send me both. Just because if you feel like nothing's changed, please send me everything. If you feel like nothing's changed and you feel like you aren't seeing any difference, then send it to me and we'll discuss it. And I'll tell you what I see. Other than that, ladies, just feel free to contact and keep following this. Your suggested foods are suggested for a reason. Try to stick to these, but obviously it's not the end of the world if you don't. However, these are probably where you're going to get the best nutrition from, and also keep the weight down. Anyway, all right, ladies, good luck. We got this. Don't forget to ask questions. Don't forget to use your journal, and don't forget to drink water. You ladies are going to rock this, and I wish you the best of luck.